Hi, it's Sean, the Fluency Awesomeizer. Here's another video where I want to take a few minutes and help you decode big words and give you lots of spelling tips. Carry around up here and use when you need. I've got two words I want to look at today. Let's get ready to read. I'm about to show you a word and I want you to read it right out loud to whoever you're there with and hit pause if you think you need to give yourself more time. What is this word? All right, how about this word? These two words are really similar. The top word is defiantly, and down below is definitely. I'm going to take a moment and illustrate the difference between these two words. I have a feeling you may have thought or even read definitely when you went to read the top word defiantly. First, I want to look at the syllables. The phi and phi is the stressed syllable. It's an open syllable, and that is the root of defiantly. Defin it is the root of definitely. Notice the IT has a silent E. We'll look at that in a moment. But both of these words have ly suffixes, so they're four-syllable words. Take a look at the vowel pair in the middle of defiantly, I-A. It's an unusual vowel pair. It doesn't get talked about a whole lot. It's unusual because you hear both vowels when you see it. It comes around every now and then, especially when you're in elementary school. The word giant is an example. But in the middle of defiantly, you see the syllable phi, ant. So that IA vowel pair is very unusual and it causes lots of problems. Now, let's look at the confusion between these two words. My question is, how can you confuse defiantly with definitely? All right, see the colors down below? Look up top now. Defiantly has the DE. There is FIN in defiantly. There's an AT, not an ITE, but AT, and the suffix LY. So it's really similar. Now, I talk about the fable tortoise, the tortoise and the hare a lot because of the lesson, slow and steady. Reading big words, it's a good idea to take things slow and steady. But a lot of young readers are like the hare. You're in a hurry, you want to get the race done and over with, and you want to win. So if the hare comes along to a word like defiantly, watch what can happen if you rush through this word. On your mark, get set, watch the N. See the N, watch it. On your mark, get set, go. Whoop. Did you see that N flip over? It reversed, it switched places with the A. And look, defiantly suddenly looks like definitely. So if you thought or read definitely, that's an illustration of what your brain probably did when it processed all those letters in defiantly. It's very easy to reverse a letter like N. It happens all the time. It's very common. It's one of the reasons I'm here, to illustrate that for you, to help you, to help almost consider it training your brain. All right, so that's a quick illustration of how defiantly can be confused with definitely. Now I want to move on and talk about the root words. The root of defiantly is an old Latin word. It looks like fidus. It's pronounced in Latin fidus, fidus. And fidus means faithful. And everyone associates the word faithful with dogs, like this cute little puppy. Dogs are very faithful. They've been the favorite choice of pet for as long as pets have been around. Now, have you ever heard of the classic dog named Fido? Compare it to Fidus, the F-I-D. Guess what Fido means? It means faithful, right? That's why it's a classic dog name. I recall Fido, and it makes me think of old cartoons. It's a good cartoon name for a dog, Fido. Anyway, fidus, you put the DE syllable in front. Fidus kind of has a happy connotation, but DE turns it into the opposite. De fidus, not faithful. So think the opposite of a cute little puppy. How about, ooh, this dino dog, sit, boy, stay, sit, don't growl, just take it easy. The fidus, all right, that's the opposite, not faithful. And from de fidus came the French word défier, and défier, from that word we have the word defy in English. And defy is a verb, It means to refuse to obey. Think about my dino dog. Now, we're going to turn defy into defiant by dropping the Y and adding an I. But before we do, I want to give you something to remember that rule. Here's Y in sign language, I in sign language. And when you're talking about yourself in sign language, you take an I and put it against your chest. So drop the Y, drop the I, drop the, wait, take two. Drop the Y and add an I. Why? Because I said so. All right, so that's one way to remember that rule. So we drop the Y, add an I, and then the suffix ANT, we have the word defiant. And defiant is an adjective that can be used to describe someone or something that doesn't listen to directions, that refuses to obey, like my dino dog, take it easy, boy. So defiant, you add an ly and you have the adverb defiantly, and that's used to describe the action words, like that dino dog growls defiantly. That's the job of an adverb, is to describe verbs. And that's the story of defiantly. All right, the root of definitely is an old Latin word too, finis, finis. And finis in Latin means a boundary or an end. Now watch this. If I put an H at the end of finis, I have the word finish. Like finis means an end, finish line, the end of a race. And that's, so it's also, the root of definitely is also the root of the word finish. Pretty interesting. So finis in Latin, also there's a Latin word finitus. And then with the prefix de, it has a few meanings, not just the opposite of, but definitus means in Latin defined, bounded, limited. And to make sense of that, I want you to think of sports fields. Sports fields or courts are defined. They have specific measurements. They have sidelines. They have special shapes. Most of the time, it seems they're rectangular. There are limits to how wide and how long there are. They have boundaries, right? The sidelines. So that's a way to make sense of the word definitus and the root word of definitely. And that's where we get the English word definite. And definite means clearly stated or defined, like the sidelines of a court or a field. And it also means certain. Like if you make a choice to do something and it's definite, you are certain you're going to follow through on that choice. Like sleeping in late now that school's over. I'm definitely sleeping late. Speaking of definitely, we take the ly, or take the root word definite and add ly, and we have an adverb definitely. And we all know what that means. You definitely feel this way about something. And that's the story of definitely. All right, let's wrap up the video. Get ready to read some extra fluency practice. I've written a passage for you to practice a lot of these patterns, and I don't want you to read like the hare. I want you to be the tortoise. Slow and steady. This is a race. I want you to read this passage right out loud from start to finish. I'm going to get out of the way and be the tortoise. Hit pause and read this out loud. All right, that's going to do it for today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can find lots more videos just like this one. I post them every weekday to help readers in 2nd through 6th grade decode big words and give them lots of spelling tips too. Mom or dad can follow me on Facebook at the Fluency Awesomizer. In my photos, I have over 200 exercises just like these to keep you nice and busy and awesomize your fluency. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back and see me again soon here at the Fluency Awesomizer. Bye.